Hello and welcome to this edition of TMA's Farm Margin Talk. This is Devin Sherling, Grain Marketing Manager for TMA. So before we start this week's Farm Margin Report, I want to give a little shout out to all my friends at the Kansas State University College of Ag Golf Tournament today. And boys, you have a beautiful day, and while you're out golfing and enjoying yourself, I'm providing value to producers in central Kansas. So keep the ball in the fairway, boys. So back to our Farm Margin Report. For this May the 4th, 2012. You'll notice that in the 2012 crop year here, that once again the difference between corn and soybean profitability has moved towards soybeans in even more drastic fashion here in the last week, with profitabilities of beans being at $241 an acre on the irrigated side and corn being at $187. But the real big drop has been with the increased or improved growing conditions in central Kansas. We have seen our wheat profitability really dive here in the last week, with irrigated wheat in the negative $24 an acre range and dryland wheat at negative $3. So as we look at how we come up with that information, remember that the Farm Margin Index is created off of the local new crop cash price at Groveland, Kansas, and these are the expenses that we use. So today we're going to focus on wheat, and the most common question that we've received lately is, so what am I going to receive from my federal crop insurance? So today we're going to focus on where or where not you're going to receive your indemnity payment from crop insurance. So if you purchased an 85% policy and the price at harvest time, remember the harvest price for crop insurance is determined as an average of the July futures of the month of June. So if that average comes in at 627 and you grow a 45 bushel yield, you will receive a $20 an acre payment from your crop insurance. But if you move out here and you grow a 50 bushel crop, you're going to receive a partial payment because you invested $28 an acre into your crop insurance policy. You're going to get you have about $9 back in that situation. So that's what your policy looks like from an 85% view. Remember, yellow means you're not going to get or you're going to get a reduced payment, and green means that that's what your policy payment will be. So if you purchase an 80% policy, you'll notice that the yellow continues to creep in, meaning less chance of payment, and where you're going to receive that payment continues to move down into that lower price quartile. And if you purchase a 70% policy, that you're virtually, unless we see a massive 80-cent move lower in price, are not going to receive much of any of a payment this year in the form of your federal crop insurance. Now, the point of this conversation is not to farm for an insurance payment, is to know where your revenue guarantee is when you're making that overall risk management strategy for what bushels you haven't forward contracted going into harvest. And if you need help with that, feel free to contact one of our grain marketing or crop insurance specialists. So the next 3 weeks for wheat are extremely important. And so I put on the 8 to 14 day outlook for temperature, and luckily we're in the normal range. And so remembering that our wheat is several weeks ahead, this is ideal filling temperature for our wheat. And when we look at our precipitation during that same time frame, we're in the above average for the probability of getting moisture, which means our chances for a larger than average crop keep going up with our current weather forecast. So make sure you have a plan for those extra bushels come harvest time. So what's causing this market to move? Continued talk of more yield. Informa's information coming out today, talking about more acres of corn, more acres of beans, and more acres of everything is something to continue to watch. And then export demand, continued talk of China coming in and purchasing grain, as well as technical movements are driving these markets today. So for more information on how to help your farm lock in revenue, contact one of your TMA grain marketing or crop insurance specialists.